thank you for listening to the Root Cause Revolution podcast. Be sure and subscribe on your favorite podcast provider. Ratings and reviews are always appreciated.
Before we dive into today's episode, I am so excited to share with you a brand new, absolutely delicious snack that you have to try. And it comes in all sorts of sizes. You can buy some from yourself. They come in these amazing, beautifully packaged gift boxes to give as corporate gifts or gifts to friends. It is Paktli, Paktli, and it is an amazing company. Paktli means joy in the ancient language of the Aztecs, and they have made these delicious handmade traditional Mexican desserts with bittersweet chocolate and dried blueberries and cacao nibs and dried cranberries. They are all gluten-free, all organic, and everything but the white chocolate is soy-free. Now, they also have, because you know we're very much dairy-free, they have dairy-free options as well. This company is a company for people who love to read labels, who care about natural whole foods, and who like to buy organic products with simple ingredients and no additives. Y'all, this is an amazing snack for the whole family. We have both the crumbles and the full cookies. The crumbles are amazing just to snack on. They're amazing on top of other desserts, on top of apples, like apples with peanut butter, and sprinkle this on top, and even with milk for a really delicious treat. You just add a little bit of plant-based milk in there, and it's like the most delicious cereal you have ever had. Now, they sent me a discount code to give you guys, and you can use discount code ROOTCAUSE15. That is discount code ROOTCAUSE15 at PaktliFoods.com, PaktliFoods.com. You'll find the link down below in the show notes on your favorite podcast provider. Hi, friends, and welcome to episode 289. Today is Ask Audrey. I'll give you a brief introduction before I dive into all these amazing questions. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Audrey. I'm a root cause clinician, and I specialize in helping you to stop masking symptoms and start healing from the root cause of all of those chronic issues, symptoms, illnesses, all the way up and including autoimmune disease. I work with people who have tried it all and still aren't at the level of health and wellness that they deserve and desire. So if you are done with Band-Aids and ready for real solutions, I am here to help. You're in the right place. All right, let's dive in. First, I'll tell you, if you want to submit questions for Ask Audrey Fridays, then you have a couple options. You can go to audreychristie.com/question. Link is also in the show notes on every single episode, no matter what podcast player you are listening to this on. And you can go to the free private Facebook group, Women's Wellness Circle, and ask a question there as well. This question comes in from, well, actually it says anonymous, so I'm not going to say the name, but here's what it says. We are all struggling with a virus in our house right now. Don't know if it is the virus because we're not going to go test it. What dose of vitamin C would you recommend for me versus the kiddos? All right. Easy enough. And I, for the record, don't disagree with your choice not to go get tested. There's really not a reason to, unless your job requires it, for example. But as far as the vitamin C goes, you want to make sure it is a liposomal. I said that a little cotton mouth there. Liposomal vitamin C. And you're going to want to do 1,000 milligrams twice a day for you until you feel better. Kiddos under 12, you can probably do 500 milligrams twice a day. Kiddos over 12 or 12-year-olds in kind of that adult body stage, depending on when they hit their growth spurts, could also do 1,000 milligrams a day. The good thing about vitamin C is it's really, really hard to overdo vitamin C. It's easily excreted through your urine. So as long as you're taking in plenty of fluids, that vitamin C is really good for you. I would also encourage you to take zinc. And this is one of the few times you'll hear me recommend taking melatonin for sleep. Those are also two very important things if you are active in a viral infection of any kind. Next question comes from someone in North Carolina. Let's go with that. Okay. Here it is. Dear Audrey, I have no official diagnosis. I have a family history of lupus. In my doctor's words, I have some symptoms of psoriasis. I have red cheeks, sensitive skin, and dry patches. How can I best start a healing journey when I don't have a diagnosis and I want to fix it? Sorry, there's some typos. I want to fix it before I really start feeling sick all of the time. This all started about 12 to 18 months ago. Okay, so to answer your question, it's good news that it started about 12 to 18 months ago, because that means we should be able to fix it in 1 to 2 to 3 months, right? Somewhere in that 12 to 18 week line. What I would suggest is you look back as to what happened 12 to 18 months ago. Did you get sick? Did you have to take an antibiotic? Did you have some high stress event? We really want to look at what could be a trigger for that and heal it from that point. It's likely, as I've said before, that there are many roots that are leading to the symptomology that you have. But the good news is that it is all easily reversible. And the less time that you have under duress, the less time you've had with symptoms, the easier it is to get better. So I would start with avoiding dairy and gluten for now. Not that you'll have to get rid of them forever, but do it as a test. I think you could get some really quick wins by staying off of dairy and gluten. Do that for about 3 weeks and then add gluten back in, see what happens, add dairy back in, see what happens. Now, I would also encourage you to do something called the Food Mood Poop Journal. You can download that from my website at audreychristie.com. You may have already gotten it. If you are on my email list, it comes out, kind of in those introductory emails. But take that and fill out it. What we're looking for on the food column is not necessarily how much you ate. We don't care how many calories you had or that, but we're looking for the food itself. So if you had a cheeseburger and French fries, and then mood symptoms, any time of the day that you feel your mood really dramatically shift. If you are snappy or crabby, if you are sad or tired, if you have any other symptom, that goes in the mood column. And then the far right column is your poop journal, where you're going to just say, okay, at 12 p.m., I had a poop and it was this on the Bristol stool chart, which is also included in those instructions. And then you can take that information and we can really dissect it to find out exactly what is triggering what symptom, right? I always have people do it for a full 5 days because, especially when you're turning it into me, and maybe you'll do it a little differently if you're not turning it into me, but I tend to find out that people are like, let me show off and show Audrey how good I can do for like 3 days, right? And then after those 3 days, I kind of get that real picture, that over the weekend picture, whatever it might be for the last 2 days of what you're actually eating on a daily basis. So yeah, I would definitely do that and really start to suss out those problems. If you haven't had just those standard once a year physical labs run from your doctor, I'd also go ahead and get a complete blood count run, a complete metabolic profile run, a complete thyroid panel if they'll go for that. Sometimes that one's a little hard to get them to go for, and then a vitamin D level. And if you decide to work with me one-on-one, or if you decide to become a member of the Root Cause Revolution membership, you can learn how to look at those labs and pinpoint some further root causes that might be an issue. Lastly, I would consider doing my hair minerals analysis test as well as the food sensitivity test to really suss out exactly where you're at on a toxin load level as well as a food sensitivity level. So I hope that helps. I didn't answer it as part of the answer to this person's question, but I do want to address really quick the thought process that you have to wait for a diagnosis. Most people that experience chronic symptoms, chronic illness, autoimmune disease, spend an average of 5 years looking for a diagnosis. I don't encourage you to do that. I encourage you to address the root causes that are causing your symptoms way before diagnosis. The longer that you spend in your current pattern of dysfunction, the harder it is to reverse. It's not impossible. It's never impossible. Don't let anybody ever tell you it's impossible, but the harder it is to reverse. So if you keep going to the doctor and the doctor keeps saying, my labs are normal, your labs are normal, and you keep saying, but I don't feel good, and he keeps saying, sorry, you're depressed, you're tired, it's normal, find a new doctor. Find a naturopath like me in your area. Find literally anyone to listen, join the Root Cause Revolution membership, join the Women's Wellness Circle, take your health into your own hands. You and you alone are responsible for your health and wellness, okay? So the second part of that is that what does a diagnosis get you? It gets you a code so that your insurance knows how to bill your conventional medicine treatment. Conventional medicine treatment is just masking symptoms. If you listen to Wednesday's episode on psoriasis and you heard the analogy about the pizza, you're ignoring the symptoms, you're ignoring the timer, you're ignoring the smoke, but the pizza's still burning in the oven, even if you're masking the symptoms and hiding the fact that it's burning in the oven. So that's just something I want you to keep in mind as you are on your healing journey, that there is no reason to wait for a diagnosis to seek out natural remedies and to work on your root cause. All right, our last question is from Marta, and Marta wants to know, Audrey, I've heard you recommend a specific kind of CBD. Can you let me know what that is? Absolutely. So I would encourage you to reach out to me directly via email or via your client portal if you are a one-on-one client already. There is a company called Appalachian Standard. I can give you a link to that. And they have something called strain-specific CBD. Now, I love strain-specific CBD because you can really hone in on what you are looking to accomplish, what you are looking to heal, what you're looking to relieve: pain, stress, anxiety, sleeplessness, energy levels, ADHD, any of those things, and point that towards a specific solution. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that CBD oil does not address the root cause. It is simply masking symptoms, but there is also kind of a root cause element to it because we can actually have a deficiency in cannabinoids. Now, the only place that you get cannabinoids is not CBD. Cannabinoids come from all plants, right? Anytime you're eating a plant, consuming a plant, you're getting a cannabinoid. But what CBD can do is refresh, bring the levels of cannabinoid up to a reasonable level so that you can rule out that root cause, and it provides you some relief for all the things that I mentioned in the interim. If you go to their website and you're able to find the strain specific, what you won't find is any claims. So they can't say, per the FDA and all those things, like, use this one for this. However, I have some information that I can point you in the right direction. So I'm happy to help. I encourage you to reach out and I will point you in the right direction. But Appalachian Standard, I wholeheartedly recommend their products. It goes from plant to product right there in their own facility. And so we know it's pure. We know it's good. The family that owns it is amazing. So I recommend them. Last question today comes from Jill, and Jill wants to know, Audrey, I have been off and on of antibiotics all year. I just was diagnosed with pneumonia and I'm on another round of antibiotics for 10 days. What can we do? So one of the biggest root cause triggers that I see, one of the kind of the top 6, let's say, is an infection trigger, followed by which triggers antibiotic use, which triggers gut problems, which triggers autoimmune issues and all of those things. So if you have a lot of antibiotic history, if you're currently on antibiotics, then that is something that we need to address right away. We need to repopulate the gut. We need to heal and seal the gut lining. We need to really, really work on the gut health from a nutrient, micronutrient, and stress point of view while boosting up your immune system. Likely you have low vitamin D levels, likely your zinc is low, likely you could use some vitamin C. All of those things have to be addressed, as well as inflammation, in order to improve the terrain so that you don't continue to get sick with infections that require antibiotics, and so that you can recover and recoup all of the lost nutrients and functioning of your body. So I would start with a good probiotic. Otherwise, you'll find yourself on an antifungal. I would definitely start with a good antibiotic. From there, you have to work on getting a test for your vitamin D levels. That's something that I can order for you. Your family physician can also order that for you and put it on your insurance. That is definitely something to look at next. If you have a history of having the big virus that everybody's scared of, you definitely need to replenish your zinc, your copper, and your vitamin C levels. Those are often really, really depleted. Antioxidants in general, really, really depleted after a major virus like that. If you haven't worked with me one-on-one, then please do grab a mini case review and we can get you set in the right direction and set off on the right foot so that you can put all of this behind you for good. That is all the questions for today. I will see you on Monday for Energy Medicine Monday. We'll be wrapping or moving on into midweek next week with part 2 of the psoriasis episode. So I can't wait to see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Root Cause Revolution podcast. Be sure and subscribe on your favorite podcast provider. Ratings and reviews are always appreciated.